Is this okay?
No.
No, this is not okay.
No.
No, that is not okay.
So what is this? What is animal cruelty? Animal cruelty can be divided into two separate sections: neglect and intentional cruelty. Neglect is the failure to provide an animal under your care with the most basic necessities like food, water, shelter, and vet visits. Intentional cruelty is when an individual purposely inflicts physical harm or injury on an animal because of the owner's state of mind. Intentional cruelty, however, is much more shocking than neglect. According to an interview with someone at the animal care clinic, the type of animal cruelty that we see most in Kentucky is accidental neglect. Accidental neglect is when someone does not realize that their pet needs vaccinations or regular checkups. And when the pet is brought in, we see that accidental neglect. To show once again that animal cruelty is not okay, we did a random poll survey at the University of Kentucky BCM. In this survey, we found out that 44 out of 50 people stated that they think animal cruelty is uncalled for and animal rights should be enforced. This just backs up the point with the video in the beginning that this is not okay, and this is something people see needs to be changed. They just don't know how to. So our purpose with this video is to show what the people can do. Animal cruelty is bad for society because it is not only wrong for the animals, but the offenders are also led to commit human violence.
A status posted on Facebook reads this: and there's plenty more where that came from.
We see animal abuse and animal neglect every day.
Those who work with the animals are affected most.
I feel really bad for the animals, and the cruelty is just bad. You know, it's heart-wrenching, you know. It does hurt.
Some of these animals make it.
A bunch of teenagers stoned the dog, and she was in really bad shape, and brought her in, and they sent her to the vet. Now she's adopted out, got a beautiful home.
Others don't.
A 200-pound man beating a dog with a bat, a little miniature pinscher, and basically half of the dog's body was broken.
And then there are the extreme cases, like the 2009 case involving Phoenix, a young pit bull who was doused with gasoline and set on fire.
But it doesn't stop there. Animal cruelty isn't the only thing that needs to be monitored. It can lead to much more.
Although these are tragedies in their own right, these incidents don't stand alone. They're linked to yet another problem.
Women in domestic violence shelters say that the perpetrators of their abuse have also maimed or killed animals. And many women delay going into a shelter for that very fear.
Therapist Nancy Frank, who works with domestic abuse victims at YWCA, has seen the link between animal abuse and human violence firsthand.
I would say 70 to 75% have seen the batterer actually use animal cruelty to control them or to coerce them, intimidate them. So that's a very huge precursor to actual battering situations.
And so it starts with animals.
You have to stop animal abuse if you want to stop human violence. Study after study has shown that people who engage in animal violence are so much more likely to commit human violence in the future. So it's not what's next, it's who's next.
As you can see from a poll taken at the University of Kentucky, 86% of respondents aren't even familiar with the laws to protect animals in Lexington and Fayette County, and only a small percentage are familiar. However, a vast majority of the respondents consider animal cruelty to be an issue that needs to be monitored and enforced more than it currently is. These heart-wrenching issues are not going to resolve themselves. We need to take action, and we can start with fighting against animal cruelty. In an interview, Lieutenant Brown from the Lexington Fayette Animal Care and Control was asked what the public can do to stop animal cruelty.
Definitely talk to their council people, we need to start taking this on the state level to where, our laws are definitely fixed to where it will allow officers to do more than what we can do. It allow the court system to be more stricter when it comes to animal abuse cases.
Okay. What would be one thing you could say to people that are aware of animal abuse?
definitely you want to report it.
Yeah.
Report it. I can't say that enough. Any type of neglect, any type of mistreatment of animals, you always want to report those things to your local animal control officers.
So report it to animal control, call the police, or?
Yeah, you definitely want to, you want to give it to animal control first. And then if we feel that it needs to go, more on a different level, then we will contact the appropriate partners.
There are many animals like Smokey. An abuse case was opened, but after several years and no leads, the case was closed. A Google search on animal cruelty in Kentucky returned over 200,000 results. There is no question that Kentucky is the worst state for animal welfare. Cruelty cases are found in every county in Kentucky. These shelters in Upshur County are not the worst. These slides show that Kentucky is the nation's worst state for animal welfare. Kentucky is ranked 50 out of 50. Kentucky is ranked last in animal welfare laws for the 7th year in a row.
Investigations spanning more than a decade, we exposed the horrible things going on in Kentucky's animal shelters, often hidden away on private property, where dogs were starving, shivering, or sweltering in windowless darkness until they were shot to death. Our reports prompted legislation mandating minimal humane shelter standards, things like protection from the weather, including heated quarters during cold weather, and adequate lighting, ventilation, and sanitary conditions. Kentucky's counties were given 3 years to comply, but our investigation found many counties all over the state still in violation after the deadline passed. So the Animal Legal Defense Fund is filing lawsuits in Estill and Robertson counties, alleging they're not complying with the humane shelter law, and submitting photos that they say back up their claims, like this one. This is the Robertson County Animal Shelter, characterized in the lawsuit as a shack. The humane shelter law contains no enforcement provision, so the only way to force change is by filing lawsuits. And I just got off the phone with the Robertson County dog warden. He called the shelter conditions there pretty sad, and he was told by his boss, quote, "We're not going to do anything about it until we're made to do something." He said right now it's probably over 100 degrees inside that windowless shack you just saw, and he says a few animals have died inside.
There is hope, though. The FBI has declared animal abuse a top-tier crime. The good news is that new animal cruelty law will go in effect next year. The bad news is that there is no local and state law to enforce this new law. It's not just animals in shelter. Kentucky, the horse capital of the world, has many cases of horse abuse as well.
Investigators arrived. More than half were found dead, while 14 others were seized because investigators say they're malnourished. Others appeared to be.
A teen in Owen County killed an animal while vandalizing a church and school. We know that animal cruelty leads to human violence and is far too prevalent in Kentucky.
Will you remember me?
8 million animals end up in shelters every year. We don't have laws to protect them. We don't enforce the laws we have. These animals will never see justice unless we change the laws. We know animal cruelty leads to human violence. Where animals are being abused, humans are being abused.
As mentioned throughout this video, animal cruelty is a serious and heinous crime that leads to many issues, but it can be helped and reduced. It starts with those in the area, specifically the state of Kentucky. This can include giving time, money, or resources to local humane societies or shelters, or helping clean up the mess that many have left behind. It also requires the citizens of Kentucky as a whole to report crimes and report any signs of any animal abuse they may see. The main number to call is the local Animal Care and Control Department, and if they are unavailable, then call your local police department. For the Lexington-Fayette area, the numbers are listed here. When the community is willing to report crimes and help stop animal cruelty, it not only helps the animals but future victims of crimes if they were to escalate. Thank you for your time, and if you would like more information, please visit this website.